I will tell you that I very much look forward to this. I see it as a challenge. I believe that the work the council does, whether it's planning for the power needs of this 4-state region for 20 years, which they have done now. They've issued 7 separate plans, the most recent just last year. Or whether it's on the fish and wildlife, where they've issued a similar number of plans that they've actually revised 18 times since they've actually begun. And those issues have become much more contentious in recent years from a litigation standpoint. So there are some very significant issues there. I would tell you that I believe that in all of this, what the governor was looking for and what I'm hoping you're looking for is our ability to broadly look at these issues, to understand the issues that are presented before us, to listen to people. We have very capable staff both in each one of our state offices for the council and in the central office, staff that are devoted to fish and wildlife issues, staff that are devoted to power policy, power-related issues. We have a large number of stakeholders that actually come to the council. We have numerous advisory committees, and I think what people are looking for is that we will take the interest, that we have the intellect to be able to address these issues, and that we will exercise good judgment, because both Senator Ferrioli and I are there to represent the interests of the people of the state of Oregon and to work with our other 3 states in that interstate compact for the welfare of the entire region. Now, I'm prepared here today to answer any question you might have about energy policy or any question you might have about fish and wildlife, but if you'd like to ask me that, I believe I could probably go on for another 5 to 10 minutes. And I have spent the weekend reviewing the budget submission for the Bonneville Power Administration, just so I could check on some things. And so I think you all know me, and you know how thorough I am. I don't expect, like that old saying, if we always agreed, one of us wouldn't be doing our job. But I believe that. But I believe I have the intellect. I believe I have the judgment, and I think most people know that I have the work ethic to do this job well. And I look forward. Can I say this?
You know, you should be careful what you ask for.
People wonder whether Senator Ferrioli and I will get along. We will get along fine.
Well, you've certainly had enough time to iron that out in 20 years.
Madam Chair, at the risk of looking like I'm insisting on the last word, I wanted to particularly mention service on the Legislative Commission on Indian Services.
Yes.
Because treaty rights and tribal interests intersect with all the other interests that we'll deal with while we're wrestling with the power plan and the conservation updates and the fish and wildlife issues. I believe I can speak for both of us when I say we are ready to relinquish our seniority in the favor of others who will remain behind. We have experience working across the aisle. We served at a time when the legislature was evenly divided as caucus leaders. That was an invaluable experience, I think. We will be serving at the pleasure of the governor. I want to make sure people understand we have advised folks for many years who've come before the Rules Committee that they serve at the pleasure of the governor. So that's something I think we can reasonably assert. And I believe it's incumbent on us, at least I'm certain, that we must announce an actual conflict of interest before I may vote in this committee today, because this is a lucrative position. It comes with compensation. So it isn't a potential conflict of interest, and it is not out of an abundance of caution. This is an actual conflict. So I wanted to put it on the record.
Okay, I think probably before we vote is another opportunity
Right.
to put that on the record. All right, questions from the committee? What's left of the committee? Senator Boquist.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have several questions.
I
I'm
imagine
not going to
you
miss the
do.
opportunity, and Senator Byers is going to roll his eyes as soon as I start talking.
Yeah, this is-
He'll recognize what I'm talking about. Thank you, Madam Chair. Gentlemen, have either of you read Ted Koppel's book, Lights Out?
No.
I have not read the book. I actually received the book relatively shortly. I actually listened to his entire presentation at a NCSL meeting, so I know the underlying issues presented in the book.
So do you want it in audio or do you want it in paper? You have the paperback.
I have a paperback. I have a
Get it?
signed
So
copy.
if I get you the audio, you'll listen to it.
Yes, I will.
Senator?
I'd like
audio?
it in writing, please.
You'd like it in writing? Well, Madam Chair, the importance, and the reason I raised this, and Senator Byers is familiar with this, is that in my committee on emergency preparedness and in some of the work that Senator Byers has done, I mean, we don't have a diversified power system. We're very dependent on a grid that through telecommunications and computerization supports us well today. The wrong power pole goes down and the wrong transformer goes out and we don't have electricity. And in some cases, we may not have electricity, as you're about to find out in your new position, for 6 months if that happens. And so the importance of a future plan, the two of you will develop, that addresses the diversified power system, that ensures that if there's a catastrophic emergency or even a simple failure at the Celilo electronic switch station in your district, Senator, that if that failure happens, we have the capacity to continue to deliver power and life-saving to the state. Mr. Koppel has actually done a very good summary of it, but I think Senator Byers is aware of this, I'm aware of this. You're going to find out in your new capacity that his book is not even the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot of planning that needs to be done, and unfortunately, a lot of budgeting and cost analysis that needs to be done to ensure our power grid into the next 25 years. So I will get you both copies of the book as a learning experience for professional development for your new job.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Senator.
Professor Boquist. Other questions or comments from the committee? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator.
Okay, next, State Board of Parole and Post-Prison